If there's one thing that I've learned in my years as a web designer, developer, and human being, I suppose, it's that people aren't always good at reading the details. Now that we've added this map to the page, I could expect people to miss this address that appears right above it. Let's add the address to the map so when someone clicks on this little pushpin, the address appears, so we can stand a better chance of our customers actually seeing it. We're going to need to look at the documentation again to see how to do that. So starting back here on the documentation, I'm going to look under the terminology or concepts area again. And then right under pushpins is info boxes. That sounds pretty promising. Let's take a look at that. Sometimes referred to as an info window or pop-up. Yep, that's what we want. This is often used to display information linked to a location after clicking on a pushpin. Perfect. So we have a basic info box and various other versions, but I can see here info box when pushpin is clicked. Great. Okay, there's a little bit more code here, but let's read through this. First, there's an info box that's defined and set to be not visible. It's added to the map, and then they're generating some random locations here, setting some metadata that goes with the pushpin, and then there's a click handler added to the pushpin, which is down here. Okay, so we just need a few pieces here. I'm just going to copy the example code, just like we've been doing. I'll start by copying this bit that defines the info box. Switching back to my code, they are defining the map first and then the info box. So let's do that. Here is our info box. Creating a new info box. They're putting it at the center of the map and setting it to not visible. Okay, I'll just follow that example. And then setting the info box to appear on that map. Okay, that looks good so far. We don't need a random location. We already have a pin, but we don't have anything about pin metadata. Let's take that over to our code. We need the pin first before we can set the metadata, I assume. And let's set this title and description to the same thing that we have up here. H+ Sport in Hollywood, only this time we'll put the address in the description. So I'll switch back over to my browser and grab it from here. I'll copy that, come back over to my editor and paste it in. Whoa, okay, so that added a bunch of line breaks and things, which is not going to work with a string in JavaScript. We'll set it like this. So we have our pin metadata, and following the example code, what comes next? We need that click event handler. All right, I will add that, pushpin clicked, and we can copy the definition of this function. I'm just going to paste it here right into that event handler. And I can see that what we're doing here is we're setting the options on that info box. And the target of this event is the pushpin, I think, that was clicked. So I'm using e.target. This is pretty common event handling stuff here, where we retrieve the target, that is the thing that was clicked, and then we get its location. Then we get the title and the description out of its metadata, which we set up here, and we set its visibility to true. Okay, I think this is going to work just like it is. So let's save this. We'll switch back over to Firefox and give it a try. Now if I click this, there we go. We have the name and the address. This looks pretty good. I'm curious about one thing though. I wonder if this supports HTML. So we could break that address up onto 2 lines. Let's try that. Just put a little line break tag in here. Save again. I'll refresh. Yes, indeed. Because this name is so long, I think I might actually like it a little better on 1 line. So we'll leave it just like it was before. But that's good to know that we could put HTML in that description if we wanted to. If we were going to have a big info box with a lot of description of whatever the item is that the pushpin refers to, we could do that there. So refresh one more time and see what it looks like now that we're finished. Looks good. Using the Bing Maps info box, we now have a map looking and behaving in a visually pleasing and highly usable manner. We've increased the chances that our customers will actually see the address without being totally overbearing about it. Looks good.